Court. On.
All right, 7:04, Charlotte. What's going on? This is a very unorthodox way to be speaking to y'all right now. We have went through hell and high water to get to y'all this week. We finally got it right, hopefully. I'm Jamal, aka the Angry Black Fan from Under Construction. We have Rob Pops Richardson in the house, but we also have a special guest in the house this week, y'all. Danny Thompson. Give it up for Danny Thompson, y'all.
Woo, woo, woo. Charlotte
What's
native.
up, fellas?
West side.
You know, it's the first time on Under Construction, man. Anything's gonna be like this though.
That's surprising. I'm surprised we hadn't had you on yet, man.
You know, we'll get it together.
No doubt. And like I said, a very unorthodox way. Again, a very unorthodox way to be meeting today, man. But of course, the big news this week is the release of our most famous quarterback in Panthers history, Mr. Cam Newton, who as of today has not been signed yet. We're going to get your thoughts on that, Danny. Rodney, we're definitely going to get your thoughts and mine on that as well. First of all, I just want to actually just ask both of y'all, how are you dealing with the Rona? We'll start with our guest first. Danny, how's life like this week, man? What's been going on? How you been coping with the Rona?
Man, it's 92 degrees outside in Orlando right now. So my air conditioner's on like 40 in the house.
40? Damn, homie.
I'm hot-natured. What more you want from me? I mean, you know, it's just been working from home, and just getting things together. I mean, you know, it's kind of rough without sports. You know,
kinda. That's an understatement, bro.
It's only so many times you can watch marble racing, WWE,
episodes of Power, Ozark,
Tiger King.
I don't even watch TV shows like that, so it's like I'm stuck. But I'm good though.
Roddy, how about yourself, man? What's been going on? How you been dealing with the Rona?
Man, I've been just chilling in the house. I'm not working right now, but I'm still getting paid. All thanks to God right now. But
nice.
I've just been watching Tiger King and other Netflix stuff and playing some Madden. The Panthers on their 10th Super Bowl ring right now. We're gonna keep this going next week.
I can dig it, man. Tiger King, man. That's like the hot show right now, man. That's all I'm seeing on my timeline is like Tiger King, man. What is that about? Is that about some like white dude going around killing tigers and not getting in trouble for it? Was that it?
No, it's just watch it, man. All I gotta say is Carol did it. Once you see Carol, you be like, yeah, she did that shit.
Okay, all right. Because that's the name I've been seeing on my social media a lot. All right, man, we're gonna get to it, man. Again, this week, our beloved Carolina Panthers released quarterback Cam Newton. Doesn't seem to be a very amicable divorce, for lack of a better term. He basically accused the Carolina Panthers of changing the narrative, basically saying he wanted to be a Carolina Panther. We have seen things on his Instagram page. We seen him training and actually throwing and working out. He basically told the audience that the Panthers counted him out. So definitely want to get your gentlemen's thoughts on that. And again, we're going to start with our guest, Mr. Danny Thompson. What are your thoughts, sir?
I mean, the narrative, it's funny because it's the same narrative Greg Olsen played.
Right.
You know, it's not like this is the first time this has happened. If you go back in Panthers history, they seem like they have a history of running off guys before it's time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can go back with Keyshawn Johnson, like I said, Steve Smith, Masen Muhammad, Thomas Davis. You can see it's like a growing trend. And to lose not just QB1, but arguably, I'm going to say it's arguably the greatest Panther of all time. Mm-hmm. That's including Luke Kuechly. That's including Sam Mills. He's the most marketable player this franchise has ever had, and also the most polarizing player.
Would you say he definitely made us more relevant than we've ever been?
Before Cam Newton, Carolina was really known for Jake Delhomme and the Bojangles chicken commercials the year y'all made the Super Bowl.
I mean, it's the truth.
I mean, Cam Newton gave the city an image and a swagger that it never had. The Panther organization never had that. Steve Smith was the little guy that played big, but Cam Newton was the big guy in the big fish in a small pond. It's like watching Dwight Howard when Dwight was here in Orlando. You know, it's the big fish in the small pond, and he made Charlotte relevant. He made Carolina a must-watch on Sundays. Right. He couldn't throw. Wasn't very accurate, but he was exciting. He made plays, and honestly, he's one of the 10 players on offense in the league that can win a game by himself.
Gotcha. Rodney, what are your thoughts, sir?
It's a trend. I'm not about to count that guy out, man. I honestly think he has more left in the tank, man. It was definitely a sad day. You never thought that Cam would only last like 9 years in Carolina. You thought he was going to be like the 12, 13-year starter type of guy, but right. I mean, I understand the rationale of letting him go. You got a new coaching regime. You got a new GM, not new GM, but you should have a new GM. You have a new owner. and once all those things come together, it's 9 times out of 10 is likely going to be changed. And I just don't like the way that it was executed. Like Danny said, he made this franchise relevant. I mean, that Dwight Howard analogy was perfect. They're both love or hate. They're both they both had MVP level seasons.
Right.
They both made their market relevant.
Right. And they're both criticized for maybe not living up to their talent. Possibly. But that's another argument for another day.
True.
And they're both eccentric Atlanta guys.
Right. Leave Atlanta out of this, Rodney. We're not doing this today. We're not bringing Atlanta in any of this today. All right, we're talking about Carolina today.
All right. So one thing I want to tackle, man. So the central, a lot of the question around us is, was it time for the Panthers to quote unquote move on from Cam Newton? The timing behind this. I want to get your thoughts on that. We'll start with Rodney first, man. Is it time, and was it time for the Panthers to say, you know what, we want to just blow this whole thing up and go in another direction? Answer, kind of speak to the timing of all of this.
If the new coach and ownership says it's time. But I'm just kind of tripping off the mixed messages. Like, if you want to retool and rebuild, is Teddy Bridgewater the choice of quarterback?
Right.
For that rebuild and retool?
Someone who a lot of people believe was like a stopgap quarterback.
I mean, if your goal is to get a franchise quarterback in this draft coming up, having Teddy Bridgewater on your roster is not getting you to Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. You're not gonna bottom out quick enough.
Right.
And then, to me, tanking doesn't work in the NFL, period.
Danny, what are your thoughts?
I think the timing is really bad. I think for a first-year head coach, Matt Rule, he's got an NFL background. You need a veteran quarterback the first year. And in Cam's case, he only had 1 year left. It's not like he had a $100 million contract. He had multiple years left. Right. He had one. Was making what, $18 million compared to what other quarterbacks you have in the league? That's pretty good.
You got to pay Dak $35 million.
Especially when Dak Prescott is about to get paid.
And the thing is, like, you want to if you want to transition to the future, I get it. Paying Teddy Bridgewater $60 million for a guy who can barely throw the ball 25 yards down the field, that's just not the look. It's not the look. And then, like, Cam Newton had something to prove. It's not like, like I said, he wants the big payday. So what makes you think Cam Newton doesn't revert back to the MVP Cam Newton? You know, and you have him for $18 million. It's kind of like Steph Curry. When Steph Curry's being the MVP, making $12 million a year.
Or you had Kemba Walker making All NBA with $12 million a year.
Right. Listen, Kemba Walker and the Charlotte Hornets are a completely different story. Everybody knows what happened there. It was the right thing to do. In Kemba's case, it was the right thing to do.
Look,
in Cam Newton's case,
was.
In hindsight, it was the right thing to do. You should have traded him the year before.
No.
You don't think so?
No. You did the right thing. You did the right thing. Because, number one, in the NBA, you never get the same value for a player.
That's
the
true.
same thing the Bucks are going to go through. If we don't go back to basketball this year, the Bucks have a clock on their head because they didn't win the championship. You got 12 months before Giannis becomes an unrestricted free agent. The Bucks now have a time clock over their head. Do you keep this guy and you don't win a championship, and he walks out the door, maybe Miami, maybe New York, maybe Toronto, or I don't know, Golden State offers you 3 first-round draft picks and Andrew Wiggins, and do you say no to that?
Real quick on that, if I'm the Bucks, anybody who offers me anything, I say hell no. I don't care what it is. I'll be honest.
I mean, look. Giannis is trying to win the championship, and you got to honestly assess your situation. If you are not close to a championship, you cannot afford for him to walk out with nothing, especially in that small market called Milwaukee. Milwaukee is not an attractive place to play.
Jamal, but you're telling me if you have the number 1 overall pick in this draft, a top 5 pick in this draft, a number 1 next year, Andrew Wiggins, you're not even going to listen if you're the Bucks?
Oh, I'm gonna listen, but here's the thing, man. My thinking is, if you are in place, if you are contending for a championship, if you know you are a team that has a good shot at winning the championship, I don't listen to anything, man. I get the premise of that. I get the haul and the return that you may get back for that. But if you're right there in place to winning the title, man, I'm trying to win that title and nothing else, man. I get it.
I get it, but you remember, Masai Ujiri did the same thing. Kawhi walked out the door. He got the championship. But what happens if Mike Budenholzer, we've seen Budenholzer's coaching legacy, they don't get to the finals. They get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's it. Right. What happens if you get to the Eastern Conference Finals again and you fall short not only of the championship but making the finals? And you look at July 1, 2021, and you're like, oops.
Well, it all goes to shit, you know. All right, back to the Panthers, y'all. That's another discussion for another day. All right, man. Getting back to Cam Newton, man. Now, as of today, he is unsigned by a team. I truly believe that the Patriots are, I don't know, I don't want to say front runners because I don't have inside information or anything like that. But at this point, I believe that the Patriots might be the best fit for Cam Newton. Danny, what do you say, man? You think Cam Newton is signed by next week, and if so, where does he go?
I don't know if it's next week. The only reason why I say that is because kind of the same thing that Tua Tagovailoa is going through with the Dolphins is that Newton's coming off not just a foot injury, but a shoulder injury.
Right.
So if you're a team, you want your doctors to look at his foot and look at his shoulder before you make any type of financial investment. The problem is, with the country being on quarantine right now, it's hard to get doctors, to look at a player. So you're going to have to either take what Carolina said and say that, yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. That you cleared him for a physical.
He passed.
You cleared him all the way out the door.
Right.
Yeah, he passed their physical, but they walked him out the door. Right. It reminds me of like Drew Brees when Brees was a free agent with San Diego. He failed the Miami physical, but he passed the New Orleans physical. So what does that mean? Cam Newton will have a job. I think New England's the best place for him if he's going to start. I don't know if he gets signed before I think it's lifted. I don't know if a team is going to put that money out there. And Cam thinks he's worth it. So I think it's better set to do YouTube videos and Instagram videos. You should throw on the football until you get in front of a doctor.
Oh, absolutely.
And take less money.
What you think? Rodney, what you got, bro?
I fully agree. This might drag on to like June, July.
I'm with you.
The whole coronavirus situation just kind of muddying up the waters. I mean, if the NFL was connected like the NBA, he could get tested real quick.
That's corona. This ain't a shoulder injury.
Hey man, look. We had a shortage on tests, but the whole Jazz staff got tested, man.
Hey, listen, it wasn't the Jazz staff. What you have the Jazz, the Lakers, the Nets,
the Pistons, everybody, man. They all got tested.
James Dolan.
Hey, listen, you're a billionaire, so you get that test real quick.
Right.
Hey, man, you're a millionaire. You get the physical real quick too.
Because you got to think because Brady did his physical with a neutral doctor in New York. It wasn't by the Bucs doctors.
Oh, a neutral doctor.
Yeah, that was one of the things. They had to get a physical, and they couldn't agree to get their people up there. Brady's up in the Northeast, so they met in New York City. They got a doctor in New York to do it, and they passed him.
Hey, quick question, Danny. As a Falcons fan, are you scared of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year?
No. No, because why would I be scared of him?
Brady, man, look. Jameis isn't there to give away gifts this year.
We got y'all this year.
Oh. You know what? On that note, that's our show to
There's no reason to be scared of Tampa. I mean, as of right now. And the thing with Tampa is that their offensive line is still shaky.
Yep.
You know, they still had one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, they won't give the ball away a lot. They will not. You know, there's no way Brady throws 30 interceptions and has 12 fumbles like Winston did last year, which was atrocious.
Right.
But one thing Brady does need, and we saw the last couple of years, is they need a running game.
Yeah.
Because you can't expect Tom Brady to throw the ball 45 times a game. Ronald Jones hasn't done much of anything in the NFL. They didn't sign Melvin Gordon. They didn't go after any of the running backs that were all available. And I don't see them taking a running back at 14 unless you get like a J.K. Dobbins in the second round.
Yeah.
But until they can find a running game and be able to protect Brady, I don't know if they're just as dangerous as anybody else. They're a contender, but the Saints are still the best. I mean, I'm a Falcons fan, but the Saints are still the best team in the division.
We got to be real about that. They are. They own the South right now.
I mean, the thing is, it's like the NFC South is the weirdest division to watch because the Saints are the best team, but the Falcons and Saints seem to split every single year.
Right.
The Bucs play the Falcons very well. You guys beat the Bucs, but can't beat the Saints. It's weird.
To be honest with you, lately we can't beat y'all either. So let's leave that.
But that's normal.
Lately we can't beat anybody lately. So let's be clear about that. We got beat by the Redskins. So that.
Well, you guys were tanking. That's what it was, I guess. And the NFL is the only professional sport that you can tank and get away with it. Because think about it. There's no lottery.
I don't know about the whole tanking thing, man. I always like to go back to when Kawan Short got hurt, man, and then all these injuries started happening. Then Kyle Allen turned into Kyle Allen, and ultimately that's what did us in. I'm not gonna call that tanking. I'm just gonna call that an unfortunate series of events. Yeah, we'll put it like that.
I got a question for you guys because you guys are in Carolina, right. And you saw what happened with Derrick Henry in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey are due extensions. Do you go ahead and cut the checkbook for Christian McCaffrey at this point, knowing how running backs are in the league? I want you guys' opinion on it because you guys are you guys have an elite running back.
Jamal, I'm gonna go first.
Go first. Go ahead.
So this is my opinion. You never pay a running back a second contract. I don't care how great they are. There's always going to be a steep decline. Honestly, Christian McCaffrey, I'm not paying him more than $14 million a year. To be honest with you, if you were in a true rebuild, retool situation, you shop him, see if you get a second and first round pick for him. Somebody will actually spend that draft capital for him. I just don't see paying a running back top dollar in the NFL how it works out for you. I mean, look at Todd Gurley. Look at Freeman from Atlanta. Old boy out in Arizona.
Freeman currently doesn't have a team now.
He does. He's in Atlanta.
Didn't y'all cut Freeman?
We cut Freeman, but we got Gurley.
They cut Freeman for Gurley. And Gurley's going to play like 7 games.
And he's going to run in 2 of those games against y'all, and he's going to bust 100 on both of y'all. But continue.
Hey, man, look, trust the process, brother.
Your defense is a process right now.
We don't have a defense.
You don't get any argument from us there.
Ain't no argument. We don't have a defense.
So Jamal, what's your thoughts, Jamal?
Look, I agree that you don't give the average running back a second contract. Chris McCaffrey ain't the average running back, man. You give him the second contract, and you give him whatever the hell he wants. Look, there are running backs that are good, and there are running backs that are great, and then there's Chris McCaffrey. Chris McCaffrey to me is a different breed. We have not seen it. I think the Carolina fan base and guys like Rodney are seriously taking for granted what we have in Christian McCaffrey. This dude was our entire offense last year. You get what I'm saying?
You don't win in the NFL.
You already talk. Let me talk, man. You can put this dude in the slot. He has proven that he can run between tackles. He can run by you. Okay, he fits in any kind of offense, man. You just don't give up a guy like that. I'm sorry, man. You just don't. Especially not the Carolina Panthers. No, sir. So, yeah, you give him that second contract. You give him what he wants. And I'm willing to pay him up to $20 million. Damn it, I said it. Yes.
I get Jamal's point because he is a rare breed of running back. This isn't Todd Gurley. This isn't Derrick Henry.
Who are good?
They're good, extreme elite running backs.
Right.
But
right.
Gurley was elite until his knees went out.
Right.
But McCaffrey catches the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's arguably your best receiver, and he's your starting running back. He's your best receiver on the team.
DJ Moore. I'll give it DJ Moore.
1A, 1B. Let's not split hairs about this. Like
DJ Moore, but DJ Moore's had 1 year. Right. Are we really saying he's the best receiver in 1 year? And in Carolina's case, look what happens in year 1 with receivers, and then year 2.
I mean, he had 2 years. This is going to be his 3rd year. He had 1,100 yards last year with Kyle Allen throwing in the ball.
But Chris McCaffrey caught over 110 passes last year? What was it? 110 passes?
Man, look, that's the dink and dunk treatment. Dink.
Speaking of which, he is especially important to sign when you have a quarterback like Teddy Bridgewater, who's going to do what? Dink and dunk. So you give Chris McCaffrey up and you put Joe Blow running back there with Teddy Bridgewater. It's not gonna look the same, buddy. It ain't gonna be the same, man. So why do we go outside Robbie Anderson who gets down the field if our quarterback can't throw it down the field?
To spite Cam Newton?
Hey,
it's gonna be an interesting season, man.
It's the funniest thing in the world because Cam Newton for years has asked for a deep threat down the field.
We never went out to get one.
And never got him one. Never.
I mean, Ted getting his captain drop. Now, he'll get down the field, but he'll drop 2 or 3 of them before he catches one.
Curtis Samuel plays when he feels like it. And
he's better. I think Sam was better than the slot. He's a better slot receiver.
Absolutely, I agree.
Don't forget about Philly Brown.
Look, and Philly Brown. Philly, yeah, the guy. I think he works at Sprint now. Yeah, but
I'm like with the Publix.
But the point we are both making is all these years Cam Newton was here, and like you said, we begged it better, like, please go get somebody. Please go get a legitimate deep threat. And now you wait till the guy's going to go get one, man. It's like a slap.
The same day. It was the same day. It was like, 2 hours after he gets cut? Robbie Anderson signed. I was like, Robbie Anderson signed for $20 million with the Panthers. What the hell?
Like bargain. That was a bargain deal.
No, it's a great deal. It's a great deal because
a bargain deal. A great deal.
What Panther fans are going to see about Robbie Anderson is that Robbie Anderson was, I think, in the top 3 in the league in 20-yard receptions since he's been in the league. The better stat is has the 6th. It was the 6th worst. And when I say that, he had the 6th worst best balls thrown to him, meaning that he caught
bad passes.
Those 20-yard passes with bad quarterbacks.
Right.
I mean, he was catching passes from Jets quarterbacks. This wasn't like he was throwing, catching passes from a decent quarterback.
Right.
Sam Darnold, the guy from the Lego movie, Al Bundy, they all were quarterbacking for the Jets. And Robbie Anderson's making 20-yard catches down the field. So if you think about that, Carolina got a steal. I love the Robbie Anderson signing.
I like it too, but I'm just not sure about this quarterback. I want Teddy to win, man. I want him to win, but I don't know.
You know what? I feel like this Panthers offseason has been like this big process for us to just go 7-9 next year. So it's just like, what the hell are we really doing? You get what I'm saying?
7-9? Ooh, that's a big number. 7.
It might be. And look, I'm not going to disagree with you, man.
I'm thinking 5-11.
I'm thinking 4-12, 5-11, because you not only your biggest loss wasn't even QB1. Your biggest loss was Luke Kuechly. And we're not going to replace them. Don't get me wrong. But you know what though? If you guys end up with Simmons from Clemson, that's a good start.
Right. But hey, Danny,
I don't think he's there.
But listen,
I think the Giants take him.
The Giants will be about stupid.
What'd you say?
The Giants will be dumb to take him at 4.
You think they'll be
because you got a quarterback and a running back that you need to protect. You need offensive linemen.
Yeah, but is there one worth taking at 4? That's the question.
Listen, you better figure out one because otherwise it's Tecmo Bowl all over again.
Hey man, look. When has David Gettleman ever made sense?
Well, he's starting to make sense in New York. I mean, he took Bradbury from you guys and signed the money as corner.
And overpaid him, but yeah.
But Byron Jones got almost $90 million from the Dolphins.
Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, the going rate for cornerbacks are like, I mean, the Dolphins are they're paying Jones and Xavier Howard, the two highest paid corners in the league. The Dolphins better not have anybody score on them all year for what they're paying at defensive backs.
Well,
like you're paying what? I think it was $35 million for 2 corners.
That's stupid.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
That's stupid.
Mm.